Probably the biggest challenge we found with video is, as a real estate agent, I always joke I make a good real estate agent, but as a videographer, I'm atrocious. And a lot of video companies we had used, it looked very bland, very one-dimensional. There was no element of like cinematics or anything like that, but they would look to us and say, what do you want us to do and how are we going to do it? I'd sort of look at them and say, me sell house good. That's your job. And there was no real guidance, and the products weren't bad, but they weren't anything that the client went, oh my God. And most of them went, okay, and sometimes they go, oh look, the video doesn't look as good as the photos, because the photos, obviously our photographer nails it, and at the same time the videos were probably a bit washed out, plain, they didn't do the property justice. And so getting the guidance from yourself is huge, and like I said, whenever I do a project, I just try and stay out of your way. You're the best I've seen, so I just let you do your thing, and the product always comes out amazing. Look, the team is amazing. I mean, for me, I think the biggest testimony when I did my dad's place after he passed away, when you said someone else was coming out, I didn't even hesitate, so that's fine, because I knew you wouldn't send anybody out unless you didn't trust them, especially with something so important. And boy, he impressed me. I think the biggest thing was not only was it just the quality, and the video speaks volumes itself. You can see the end product. That's one thing with your job, is you can actually see the end product, whether it was good or not. But the autonomy and just the proactiveness, where he was constantly jumping out of the car to get the extra shot and the extra video and everything, it's just so unheard of with other companies that I've dealt with. If anything, I found they really begrudged and groaned every turn, no matter who I got, bar maybe one videographer who still wasn't anywhere near the tier you guys were at. But yeah, everyone from start to finish, the edit process, everything, whether it's suggestions or just simply, nothing's too much of an ask. It's a really big part of what you guys do. The property ended up being the #1 listing on realestate.com in the country. We actually beat the house that won the block by 3 times its value of views on realestate.com, or volume of views. It actually had people coming back repeatedly, so you could actually see the video view stat on realestate.com. So that's one big thing I think agents really forget about video. It's not just about getting them to come and have a look at it the first time, it's about keeping them on the hook and making them more and more and more emotional. I think for me, the biggest thing with video, and it's not something we do for every single listing, but there are some properties you just need to do it with either A, they're deserving of it, but B, there are some properties that static photos will never ever be able to articulate what they do. And video sells a lifestyle, photos sell a product. There's the one thing I really try and tell people is that you just can't explain acreage over a few photos. I mean, here's 15 photos of grass, fantastic, right? And maybe a cow. That property on the island, like no one understood how close that island was to the mainland until the drone went up. And they're like, oh my God, it's right there. Yeah, I know. Like you see the city in the background. That was one big thing for one of the interstate buyers on that property. So you're able to show so much more in seconds. And when so many consumers secretly shop you via Facebook, Instagram, online before they even pick up the phone, if you can't have that writer reply or answer those questions verbally, then you want to make sure that you're going to get out there. Personally, we've got a bomb for Dad's house now. Look, I think they affected us on multiple fronts. It shows a level of professionalism, and one thing I got from the one at Kawangbar we did was everyone said, wow, you really just did a whole different level of marketing there. You really gave that property a lot of love and care. I'm actually selling a property for people who bought that house, and I was only speaking to her yesterday. She said, I still watch that video at least once every couple of weeks. And it just makes me realise why I bought this house. So it really shows, and I know that the guys from Yates had a massive response off the back of that as well. So, on multiple levels, I think it really shows as an agent you care about both your clients and obviously what your product you're marketing. It really shows that you make that extra effort to conveying that value. But obviously at the same time, everyone who comes to our properties and they see these videos, we have them on display at an iPad. We try to get it across every time. It really just shows the level of depth of what you're putting in there with your marketing. You're an idiot if you don't use you guys. Like seriously, yes, absolutely. Why? Look, it's a no-brainer. There's lots of options out there. I get calls all the time. People want to do video, and one guy the other day said, "I'll do three free videos." I said, "I don't need them. I don't want free videos. I want great videos." And there's not even anybody a close second at the moment for me. So why go do that? The biggest thing is just being able to let you guys do what you do so well. If anybody wants to really benefit from your services, the best advice I can give them is just stop watching this bloody video and ring you. Let you do your thing, get out of your way, because every time I've given you unbridled, authority to do whatever you want, the product is amazing, and I mean, I just sit back in awe every time I get something from you. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, anybody wants to change their business massively, and I think the biggest advantage to social media and digital to any small business is you can punch harder than the big guys by looking so much more professional and better than they are. And most of the time, the little places are. They actually got very high quality. I always joke, I'm not afraid of a beach ball being thrown at me, but I'm afraid of a ball bearing, right? It might be tiny, but it's mighty. So having that impact and that quality there and being able to show exactly what your business does and showcase that without having hundreds of million dollars of television ads, but you can do it via social so much better. If you are truly great at what you do, why would you not want to show that to the consumer? Look, I mean, multiple fronts. I mean, for me now, I'm using it as a way of inducting my clients and onboarding my clients to make sure that they are the most formidable sellers they can be. And I mean, but there's so much to relay. One of my clients said, "Wow, it's a lot to take on." And I said, "Well, it's really hard to sort of download 19 years worth of selling knowledge into someone in a 40-minute chat." But the more we have transacted with clients. I've got one client on his 14th transaction, right? He knows the routine. He has gone through seller school and university. The more we can educate our clients, and not rather than just information overload, but having those little tidbits along the way, the better outcome they have, the less stress they have in their outcome. So we're looking at multiple fronts that I'll be looking at for onboarding clients and maybe some for tenants as well, but really just using these, not just a tool to bring marketing in and obviously new clients in, but actually make the current client experience phenomenal. And I think that's really an underestimated part of video. For me, I think the biggest thing is the level of care. I mean, look, everything that we've done has been fantastic, but I just love the way that you look at things and not just you, your staff, and the way there's always somewhere to improve or go outside of the box. And, you can see the hamster running its wheel constantly with you. You're thinking about what next and how can I do this and how can I do that. And like I said, I just try and stay out of your way. But every client I have done a video has come back with the one consistent comment. It's really interesting. They say, "I'm just so glad to have this for the memory because it's really captured what my property is." And I think that's such an interesting comment. That's been many different psyches of vendor, but that's always been the one constant comment is, "I just love this and I'll always come back to watching that." When we host them on YouTube, it is forever there. I think it's such a great, my mum has actually said to me multiple times she's watched the video from Dad's place being sold, which I find is interesting, which is pretty YouTube literate. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think it really creates a lot of connectivity, and that's probably the key word, is connectivity, where it's the consumer, the staff member, your clients, obviously, in the back end, that's what it's about. So it's been really pivotal change in our business.